Shalom. All praises to Yahawah Bashim Yahawashi, Bahakodash Rakah. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to all the sincere Akim, pushing the truth and sincerity, putting on as the elect of the Most High, and keeping their garments. Today, I basically have an article. Scripture I'm going to use for this article is on Matthew chapter 24, verse 6. And this is and ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And basically, the article is in reference to the conflict. So, like, here, one second. The conflict that's taking place in the South China Sea with, the United States and China, which, Salaki, hold up. Yeah, I'm just gonna read some stuff real quick. It says, in the world of international politics, there are always disputes where two countries draw a line in the sand um, and stand for firm-footed in their opposing policies on specific issues they both deem important to their countries' best interest. Very often, diplomacy is able to overcome the objectives, and the two sides are able to meet somewhere in the middle. What happens, however, when an immovable object meets an unstoppable force, I know the paradoxical situation that can never occur. However, we are in the midst of exactly such a situation in the South China Sea. This is truly one of two issues that I believe will be the most likely cause of the unthinkable World War III. It was some other stuff I had highlighted in here. Let me see if I can find it, because this is the browser view. I usually use this app called Instapaper, which, hold up, so I can find it real quick. Um, yeah, it says I'll get it right here. Leaving the South China Sea to the Chinese would undermine that alliance system and America's presence in the Western Pacific. China would become the dominant power in the area, and regional countries would gravitate towards it. So the South China Sea, and I looked up this. I was just kind of looking up something real quick. It's a good point. The fact that hold up. Yeah, I don't know if you could see, but this picture right here, it shows China and the U.S. how they compare, and it has the army. I can't really see because the picture of Donald Trump is blocking it, but I know China has a bigger army, like standing man army. It says artillery presence, which China has more artillery weapons, 13,790, and that's basically what you know. What they one thing I think they were trying to set up in the South China Sea was those anti-aircraft missiles and all that, which they were basically staging all their weapons and all that stuff there. Cause one thing that America likes to do, if you notice on here, so you have the tanks, which China's like double has a double battle tanks than America, and then it says the submarines, and America has more submarines. It says three more, which this number might have changed, but and then combat artillery, which China has basically seven. China has basically um 2,500, and America has 3,600. And I can't see the battleships, but I'm guessing America probably has more battleships, 9 times out of 10. Um, but anyway, going back, another thing this is another picture too. It says currency wars, are we winning? And it's showing how Iran and China, they basically dropped the dollar. So in this illustration, it's showing how you have China throwing back, America's dollar because they don't want to deal with it, and America's trying to throw over gold because they could use gold. Gold is a currency that countries accept or they want to go by as far as like oil and all those the petrodollar and all those natural resources that they had that they're willing to basically trade with America. Um, see, going back, think think this is pretty much. The South China Sea dispute, for all intents and purposes, is a dispute over an intent and purpose is a dispute over a series of islands and very valuable trade routes. There is also the argument of abundant resources in the area, most notably including oil, and the Philippines and China are now allegedly working together to tap this. In many opinion, it says in my opinion, talking about the author, is completely hogwash. Slovakia, and this was real kind of they were more doing a little bit more talking about this stuff. It seems like when Obama was in office, because you don't really hear anything pretty much about that recently or whatever. uh, it says, so what happens then when the largest threat to the US and its allies is about to take over one of the largest trade routes in the world and ultimately gain military superiority in the area over all neighboring countries? Trouble, big trouble that the US cannot afford just to back out of, although they have done a pretty efficient job over the last several years. Um, let's see. Um, all right. All right. So these pictures, right, showing how the China is building up their military capabilities in the South China Sea. You have radar. It says radar communications facility under construction, underground storage facilities. Um, so they're building up satellites and all that stuff so they could detect, I guess, ships and military vehicles, airplanes, submarines, whatever, in the area. Um, uh, see, yeah, it's pretty much it. But I don't know. This is just let me see. Yeah, I mean, this is just basically more information, on the scripture on the topic of wars and rumors of wars, because this is something, because ultimately, strategically, if America was to basically, take over that area, they would be real close to China. They would be real close to Russia, Iran. You know what I mean? Because at the moment, it's pretty much like coming from that side or whatever. They had to come with basically like ships and airplanes and to soften up the targets and all that stuff before they could actually put boots on the ground and troops. So that would be a strategic thing for them to do. But as you can see, China and China's trying to become the power in that area, and they're not trying to allow that to take place because, like, that's why during World War II, you had America basically come and take over, set up their military bases and all that stuff in Japan when during after World War II. So what I'm saying, China's not trying to have that. All right, so I hope this is edifying, and with that, shalom. My name is Lamad from the In Is Near 2 camp in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and all praises to Yahawah, Sham, Yahawashi, double honors to the elders and apostle, great millstone, and shalom.